Hello, hello. Okay, this is live stream during what used to be channel news. So introductions. My name is Patrick. The channel name is Jack Crafty. On Wednesdays, I do napping on video starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you want to send me something to nap, that's okay. But just be prepared for me not to get to it right away. I've got a bunch of stuff lined up to nap on video already. Alan Cole's here. So this is for question and answering. It's also for demonstration purposes on Wednesdays. People have asked for the front view of my napping, so here it is. Stidley Designs is here. Kiowa is here. What's up? Yeah, and you guys can share information in the chat. If you want to know where the nap-ins are and where to get material, just ask me either by email or in the chat or in the comment section of any one of my videos. I have over 2,000 videos, so I might have covered a topic that you want to see. Just type in Jack Crafty and whatever topic you think I might have covered and do a search for that. And then the videos will come up. Keith Ricketts is here. David Blaylock is here. Matthias Melander is here. Awesome, awesome. Hello, hello. Okay. So I've got some shirt I'm going to nap today. Hey, Jay is here. Jay Valente. Awesome. On air sign is awesome. Thank you, thank you. Just got to get a good microphone. If I hold this one, it works well. I'm trying to put it somewhere where it'll pick up everything. RJ is here. Nice to see you again. Yes, yes. You too. Danny Collins is here. Hey, hey. Smack the like button, says Keith. Killer Cork says hello. All righty. On air sign is awesome, says Jay. Finally got notification about live stream. Cool. Yeah, I tried to go online a few minutes ago and it just spins, right? So I have to go back and delete that first attempt because it comes up as an upcoming video. Jordan's here. Jordan Kirkpatrick. Okay. So I'll try to read the comments. Hold on, I gotta get my glasses. I try to read the comments while the video is going, while I try to nap as well. It doesn't always work that well, but it works okay. We'll be going until 4 o'clock unless something happens. Yeah. Okay. So in the thumbnail, I got a piece of amoeba chert, and this is from Sal, Blades and Points by SGP. He sent me some amoeba chert. Now this is high-grade stuff for a change. Yeah, but it's not a good shape. See how blocky it is? That's the challenge. Yes. AM is here. Hello, hello. If I forget your first names and stuff, forgive me. I mean, a lot of you guys send me emails. I know your names. I just haven't attached your names to the handles on YouTube. Like Killer Cork, I forget your name, but you don't have to reveal your name if you don't want. Okay, so let's see. Let's get started. Danny says, I'm on my way to Tennessee on another rock run, so I won't be commenting, but I'll be listening. All right, cool. RLJ, would you be interested in having an ancient core, a very, very old core? Yeah, sure. Yep. Jordan says, looking forward to the Buffalo River, Danny Collins. Yeah. Andrew is here. Good to see you. Wes, do you have an uncanny, oh, you have an uncanny ability to go live on the biggest news events in the stock market lately. Yeah. Right now, it's a good buying opportunity in the stock market, but it may go lower, so I would wait. I used to trade stocks. Yeah, when I thought I knew what was going on, I did a lot of research in the stock market. Just when you think you know what's going on, it'll change direction without warning, without signs or nothing. Hey, Aaron Wilson's here. I just napped one of your pieces of obsidian. Did you see that? A previous video? I mean, just previous, right? The last obsidian video. Andrew says he's trading right now. I hope you're doing some shorts because a lot of stuff is excellent volatility in the market. That's how you make money. If the market's doing all kinds of ups and downs, that's how you make your money. I don't know if they're allowing short trades right now. Sometimes they if the market's too volatile, they don't let you short the stocks, which is a bummer because then that money just evaporates. If you can't short it, it'll just evaporate. All right, let's see. RLJ says, my next video will be talking to you, particularly, and asking you some questions, and I will be showing that core. It will be a short, maybe 5-minute video on my channel. Okay. RLJ at Frog Pond School. Danny Moore gave me $5, says, love the channel. Thank you, thank you. Andrew says, the Dow just exploded 2,000 points up. Just cleaned house. Awesome. Mike Mason's here. Hello, hello. Well, there you go. Bob Chert is here. Hiya. Okay. So yeah, this isn't going to be easy. Mike Tuff's bopper. Let's see. This one is I think it's a 6 ounce. The writing has disappeared on it. Okay. So I don't need to hit this very hard at all. Not like the quartzite or the chalcedony I was napping before. $10 from Jesse. Thank you, thank you. Awesome. I think those are super chats, right? Thank you, thank you. Yeah, these are nice flakes for little points. And yeah, making little points out of amoeba chert is nice. It's fun. Actually fun to do. As long as they hold together. This one broke apart. Dang it. We'll see. I'm not going to try for really big arrowhead flakes on this one. I got to be careful and not hit too hard. You have to hit pretty hard for arrowhead flakes. There's an echo in here, right? I got stuff all over the place trying to break up the echo, but it doesn't work that well because I cleared it out. So it's I'm trying to make it messy again for the video so I don't get that echo in here. But it didn't work. I'm just zigzagging it. Oh, I can see a lot of vacuuming in my future. I got a drop cloth, but this stuff gets everywhere, even into my sink up here. Yeah, that's why I don't nap obsidian in the house. In case you're wondering when you're going to nap obsidian in the live stream, because I want to see. It's all the same angles anyway. All you're going to see is me making a big mess of the house. I don't nap glass in the house. Buddha Cat's here. Any progress finding your woods for Ishi arrows? No, I don't have any hazel yet. I'm going to be using, if I do make an Ishii arrow duplicate or reproduction, I'm going to use either silky dogwood or alder buckthorn. But the alder buckthorn is very lightweight. I've got to see which matches the weight of hazel better, the silky dogwood or the alder buckthorn. Hazel is pretty light as far as I know. I'll just use a substitute if I make Ishii arrows, if I can't get hazel. But he also used dogwood and other stuff. He used cane or reed also. I've got reed and stuff. I got real Phragmites reed that's good for arrows. I say real because it actually works. Zigzag, zigzag, 56.2 degrees. Don't break, don't break, don't break. Yep, there you go. Let's see. Jesse says, I can't wait to see what Danny digs up on his next roundup. Yeah. Danny lots of times posts videos of what he finds as far as rocks go. Yeah, it's cool stuff. I have to be very careful about the blades. Why do I talk like that? Because the Europeans love this. Let's see. And it's just an incidental blade. Some people would say, "Oh, Clovis made lots of nice blades. That they did blade cores. They did find blade cores, but you can make blades incidentally, as well as intentionally." Okay, so I've already got some blades, and these are all incidental. Okay, blades are twice as long or more than they are wide, and they're struck off with one blow. Okay, so I got 3 blades already, and I don't have a conical core. This is being bifaced. Imagine that. Yeah. I will answer Flintknapping questions. Okay, so don't ask me stuff like, why are you so stupid? Why are you so dumb? Let's see. Maybe ginger beer will sponsor your videos. Ginger beer? Who's got ginger beer? I don't drink ginger beer. But they can sponsor me. I don't care. Let's see. Ellen Cole says, don't zigzag when you should zag. Don't zig when you should zag. How do I know? I don't know. Yeah, I know. I do know. UMB. Damn, I've been using 52.6. Either way is the correct answer. Okay, it's either, if you answer 56.2 or 52.6, it is a correct answer. When you answer about what's the angle that you hit it at, what is it? It's always either one of those two, 56.2 or 52.6. And then people will go, you better stop that because it gets people all messed up. You're already messed up. Yep. Don't worry so much. Alan Cole says, smash the like button. Yeah, we got twice as many people watching as the likes. Danny Moore says, I've been using Privet. It's all over the place around here, South Alabama. Yeah, and it's better than Reed's. Oh, yeah. Chinese Privet is excellent. I got a bunch that I gathered. Oh, this is not going to be good. When I was in Texas, I gathered a bunch of Yopon holly and Chinese Privet. Yeah. As well as the Phragmites reed. So what happened with this? It's got that weird bulb of percussion because it didn't want to break at the proper spot. It was a perfect platform, but as usual, it doesn't seem to break when it's perfect. I think it had a natural crack in it. Maybe that's why it was finicky. Yeah. Anyways. So yeah, use Chinese Privet. It's an invasive species, so no one will care if you cut that stuff down. It's just hard to keep straight. Yopon holly is okay. If you find, see, South Alabama, you should be able to find arrow weed, maybe something similar. I found that, well, I got to keep experimenting with it, but I think mugwort can make a good arrow. I've got some mugwort drying, and it's just a weed, right? Mugwort is a weed. I have a ginger beard. What does that count? Yeah, maybe I can get sponsored by Ginger Beard and Ginger Beer. That would be awesome. Alcohol-free ginger beer is the best. Oh, I see. Privet is awesome. Yes, it is. I just have a hard time keeping the privet straight. Yeah. Let's see. What would I use it on last time? It's been so long that I can't remember. I haven't made a good set of arrows in a long time. I'll make 2 or 3 here and there, but it's been a long time since I made more than 2 or 3 at a time. When is he gonna nap? He's just all blah blah blah. Okay, I'll nap. Yeah. People are commenting, so I'm answering the comments. That's my excuse. Yeah. So it always ends up like that, but it's okay because it keeps the middle strong. I'll get rid of that in a minute. Let's see here. Danny Moore says very straight and or easily straightened. Okay. Which one is that? The privet, very straight and or easily straightened? Or are you asking me what is? David Blaylock, we have beaked hazel here. It's great too. Is it heavier or lighter than privet, let's say, the hazel? Do you notice any difference between the square copper you're using to pressure flake and a round copper of the same diameter? Yeah, the square copper is a lot softer. I was told they were brazing rods. So brazing rods are a lot softer than what I'm used to, but it still works well. Ross Wellman asked that question. Ferdo Joe's here. Bushy's here. Harold, I'm out in the garden. Snow just melted. Yeah, we got some snow yesterday and last night. It didn't last but 5 minutes. Just getting greenhouse going soon. Yeah, I got to plant. I just bought some of these. I'm going to plant them out front. I'm going to get rid of the butterfly bush and move them to the back and then put just regular wildflowers out front. Yeah. I want to be able to see out my windows. When I get the butterfly bushes going, they ruin my view. I want to see the neighborhood. I want to see all the weirdos walking by. Yeah. I got those seeds on special. So, I mean, let's see. Yeah, these were my mother's favorite flower back in the day. Those yellow daisies and white daisies too. They look like daisies, but I don't know what they call them. Rudbeckia. I don't know. They better not die on me. Yeah. They better not attract too many wasps either. Yeah. I got a lot of wasps and stuff last year. I had to buy several, well, not several, but I bought 3 cans of wasp killer that was spraying everywhere. What did I miss? I found some CC shoots. Been drying bundles for years. Do you want some? Says Ed. Still have some bark. If I knew what CC was, I might say yes or no. I don't know what CC is. Clint says, just in time for another live. Yes, you made it. Is camphor decent for a bow stave? I don't know. Camphor, I can't remember what that is. What's another name for it? The rule is you can make a bow from any type of wood as long as the dimensions are in line with the properties of the wood. Yeah, as long as it's wide and long enough, you can make a bow out of it. There's some woods that you can't get very high poundage with unless it's a huge, gigantic, unwieldy thing. Unwieldy. If you can't hold it comfortably, it's unwieldy. So if you make like a bow from a 2x4 out of pine, fir, or spruce or whatever, you can make bows out of pine, fir, and spruce, right? SPF, spruce, pine, fir. You can make a bow out of that, but it's only going to be like maybe 35 pounds, and it's going to be 7 feet long and really wide. But you can do it. Ask me. I found some CC shoots, been drying. Okay. Yeah, let me know what CC is, and I'll tell you. Keith says, "You're late, Rick. You're late, Ed." Buddha Cat, going to be in northern Arizona for a while. Any materials you guys know of that I should keep an eye out for? Yeah, look for desert broom for arrows. Look for creosote bush, because you can make foreshafts and stuff out of that. It's very heavy wood. The creosote bush. You can get juniper for bows in northern Arizona. Be on the lookout for reed at high elevations. The Phragmites reed might be good there. I don't know. I haven't gathered any in northern Arizona. And then look for the invasives and the exotics. There's lots of wood up there that people have brought in that are invasive. Anything that's straight, just go ahead and gather it. But desert broom is easy to straighten cold, and it stays straight. There's arrow weeds of different varieties in different places in the United States, and the desert broom is like a weed, an arrow type weed in that area of the country. It might be called something else there. But I would look for juniper wood in addition to whatever other woods up there. But juniper is one of my favorites. It's like either the top or my second best favorite. My best favorite. It's very springy and lightweight. So not only is it snappy, it weighs almost nothing. So it's like you're cheating. I like Osage too. It's very snappy. Oh yeah, and you can heat bend juniper where other evergreen woods or softwoods, they don't heat bend very well like pine. David says hazel is lighter than privet. Okay, so I can probably substitute the silky dogwood for hazel because I got a lot of it drying, and I can get it in long lengths. Look how long this silky dogwood shoot is. It's more than 36 inches. Yeah, I can almost make an atlatl dart out of it. I just put a 2-foot foreshaft on it. Well, it's too skinny. But anyway, I can get a ton of silky dogwood, which is almost exactly the same as red osier dogwood. And of course, in the Plains Indians made their arrows out of dogwood of various sorts, especially red osier dogwood. Let's see here. That's a big stone. What are you making? I'm making a mess right now, but this is a piece of amoeba chert from Texas. I'm going to make a long blade because people want to see long blades. They go, I only want to see the long ones. I don't like short ones because any moron can do it. Okay, fine. I'll do the long ones. The funny thing is, it doesn't make me any less of a moron. Where am I? What did I do? Where did I miss? Ginger Squatch. Did someone say Ginger? Yeah, we're talking about you behind your back. Your ears are definitely burning. Hey, Sal's here. 214. I missed your entrance 5 minutes ago. Dang it, I'm behind on the chat. Just finished work in Rockwall, Texas. Now heading back home. About an hour and a half drive. I'll be listening. Yay! You'll be listening the whole time because I still got an hour and a half to go. Yes, yes. Let's see. Careful driving, yeah. Scotch broom makes killer little bows. Scotch broom. Awesome. Scott Lauer's here. Hello, chippers. Choke cherry. CC is choke cherry. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd like some choke cherry for sure. There's someone else in the chat that wants some cherry, but I don't know. Actually, he's in my emails. I'm not sure if he's in the chat. So if I can get some choke cherry, that would be great. And then I'll send one or two pieces to another guy that's been dying for it. I want to do a lot of arrows with different materials, but I only got like 2 where I live. And if you think I'm making fun of you specifically, please forgive me. I am not. I'm just trying to be funny, okay? It may seem like I'm being condescending or narcissistic or insensitive or politically incorrect, but I'm just trying to be funny. And if you get offended, I can make you a little crybaby sandwich, okay? All right. I'll make you a little crybaby sandwich, okay, a little one. Or I'll make you well, maybe I shouldn't say that. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? I was going to say, I'll make you a retard pie, okay? Retard pie. Okay. Let's see. Ralph says, hello, Ed, Jesse, Ellen. Yeah, say hi to everybody. Ralph's here. Raphael, right? Yeah, I think. No, it's Ralph. I get mixed up. There's some guys that are Raphael and Ralph. Jesse says, R. Snyder in the house. Yes, yes. Alan Cole says, Buddha Cat, Arizona desert ironwood is good for billets, as well as many other things. Very dense and beautiful grain. Yeah, so if you can get desert ironwood, that'd be the best. I don't know if I finished my list of things to look for in Arizona. I probably did. RLJ says, when you said Osage, did you mean Osage Orange, the other name called Bodark? Yes, Osage Orange or Bodark. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's like my number 2. So juniper is probably my number 1 favorite bowwood, and then Osage Orange or Bodark, and then elm, but not cedar elm. Cedar elm is the only elm that I've tried that I did not like. It breaks very easily. You have to make a huge bow from it so that it won't take a lot of set and so it won't break. It's like trying to make a bow out of poplar wood, or it's even worse than poplar. Yeah, so I don't recommend cedar elm, but any other kind of elm is good. And around here, they've got American elm. They still have American elm here, even though most of it's been wiped out by disease or insects, mainly disease. But they still have American elm that grows here in Vermont. So I've got some of that. And I also have the Siberian elm staves saved up. I got a couple of those. I just haven't started working on bows because when I was in Texas, all the bows would dry too much and crack, and I couldn't get anything good. I got discouraged and stopped making bows when I was in Texas. Back to work. Love the channel. Yeah, Danny Moore says. I'm about to break out the like button, hounds. Yeah, if you don't hit the like button, Keith is going to set the hounds of hell on you. Yeah, let's see. Clint says, not much for good napping material here in Michigan, but there's sure a lot of glass. I thought there was some good stuff in Michigan for napping. Maybe it depends on several factors, like where you're at, for one, right? Oh, that was too much. This naps way too well. See that? I scooped it. When I scoop it, it starts the curve. It starts the curve process. Yeah. Dang it. Sal, this stuff is yours. You sent this to me, Sal. I don't know if you noticed, but it's too good. It's too good for me to be napping on video. Yeah. Here I am thinking I need to hit it really hard by default, and I don't. It snaps really, really well. Yeah, Keith says, yeah, he's making fun of you. Yeah, you caught me. RLJ says, you're just being a normal INFJ. What's an INFJ? What is that INFJ? Let's see. Virtual hankle. Okay, virtual hankies for the crybabies. Yeah. Well, I'll get you some tissues for your issues. How's that? You want a tissue for your issue? Let's see. A sandwich with all the tweaks in it. Yeah, there you go. Alan Coles, I'm about to face nap a petite sirloin. I haven't had my lunch yet. You guys interrupted my lunch with the live stream. Having to do these live streams interrupts my lunch. So don't be talking about food. Yeah, it is. This is a piece I sent you, Sal. I mean, you sent me. I didn't send you this. You sent it to me. Sal's very generous. This is some excellent stuff. I'm kind of taking my time because I don't want to ruin it. Let's see. How long is this? 7.5. 7.5 inches. I can already use it as a tool if I wanted to. Snapping half-ish, scoopalicious. Yeah. Let's see. Alan, sirloin was my grandfather's favorite steak. He was a butcher and taught me how to cut up deer. Awesome. I learned how to cut up deer from YouTube. Yeah. Let's see. Jesse says, Jay posted a pic on his video of the thinnest Clovis points I have ever seen. Would be curious to know what the thickest would be between the two flutes. The thickest? The thickness would be between the two flutes. Oh, of the thin ones, yeah. It was under glass in a museum. Yeah. I think the thinnest, well, I'm just going to guess, I think the thinnest are around 6-1. Maybe a little bit better than that between the flutes. Width to thickness ratio, in case you don't know what that is. When I say 6-1, it's width to thickness ratio. It's very important in Flintknapping, and hardly anyone talks about it. Jesse says, amazing it didn't break during manufacture. Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand that a lot of these old points that look like they require a lot of skill actually depend on a lot of luck in order to make them. Like the Folsom. The Folsom is a luck point. There's a lot of breakages involved and a lot of failures involved in other ways. So in order to get a good Folsom, you have to depend on luck in most cases. Now, there's some people, if you're old enough, back in the day, it's very rare to be old enough to have enough experience to make them on purpose without much luck. But for the most part, it is my opinion that it's a luck point. It's one of those things that requires a lot of luck, and you're depending on luck to get it done. And if it doesn't work out on that particular piece, you have to ditch that piece and start over. Try again. And then when you get lucky, that's when you can make a Folsom. When you get lucky and flatten it with the flutes, You can just trim around the edges. That's what they did. Let's see, sweet. Hopefully I'll score some more of that in a few. Sal says you might be able to score more of this in a few days. Let's see. Clint Stoner says, has anybody had a go at trying to nap a fishing lure? Spoon, most likely. I've seen hook videos. No, haven't tried a fishing lure. That's an interesting thing to think about. Let's see. Killer Cork says, R. Snyder never knew anyone close that hunted, but I want to get into hunting for sure. I've always wanted to. Yeah. Just go hunting for stuff that has no closed season and there's no bag limit, like squirrels and collared doves. I can just name off the top of my head. But there are other critters that you can hunt day or night, no bag limit, no closed season. Coyotes fit that also. So if you can do that, that's what I recommend. Ooh, it's so sweet. Yeah. These are sweet because they can be used to cut hides, open up hides when you're gutting an animal and that kind of thing, or cordage, or hair. These are cool, and it's taken from the side. So these are similar to the Levallois points, and you've heard me talk about it before. The Levallois point is struck from the side, and you get this. It's not struck from the base. It doesn't come from down here like this, because those are curved. It comes from the side, so the curve is the other way. See that curve right there? That's what the Levallois point looks like. It's straight the other way. See that? That you can stick on the end of a stick, just like that. Stick it on a stick. Okay, where's Smallzilla? He's usually the one that asks me those kind of questions. Harley, the 3D guy, 3D printer guy. Killer Cork says, dang it, I got to do some errands. I hope I can be back in time to catch more of the stream. All righty. Alan Cole says, I harvested a little bit of duckless fur resin for Patrick. The aroma is amazing. After lunch, I'm sending it out. Awesome. Thank you. Jesse says, I would guess that thin 5 would break before you get one. Luck for sure. Yeah, 5. You can get 1 out of 5. Yeah. Alan Cole says, Killer Cork, you sniping master? Sniping during the auction, right? Make another Levallois point. Senku, make another Levallois. You want to make more la points? I used to call them la points because no one can pronounce Levallois. Ralph says, Killer Cork, I deer hunt at my aunt's farm, 48 acres surrounded by 1,000 acres of natural gas company property. The gas property is huge, no hunting zone. See lots of mother bucks on the farm. I got to make sure I pronounce that just right. Mike Mason says, always check local regulations before assuming you can take as many of something as you want. Illinois HD citizens, I am only allowed 5 squirrels in one season. Oh, dang. You guys in Illinois. Only 5 squirrels. That's lame. I shouldn't say that. They probably have a limit here too in Vermont on squirrels. Yeah. I haven't looked that up yet. But yeah, make sure you, like you said, make sure you check your local regulations. Okay, Senku, I made another Levallois type point. See that? It's straight that way, but it's slightly curved in the other direction. Okay? And these are much thinner than the actual Levallois points, but that's how you make them. You take them off the side. Yeah. See that? Okay. So I can half them just like this and make little knives. Perfect and beautiful. You don't need to do a fulsome because look how thin that is. That's thinner than a Folsom. See that? Thinner than a Folsom, and any moron can make one. Yeah. I should know. How do I know? I don't know. Let's see. Mike Mason says, I can probably get 10 squirrels out of my garden and I still have more. Yeah. R. Snyder says, congratulations, Killer Cork, on one of those past auctions. Yeah. Ellen says, invasive squirrels have no limits in some states too, so it's definitely worth checking. Yes. I would check on that. And there are some fish also that are invasive that you can take as many as you want. Like carp. They want you to take as many carp as you can get out of that water. And there's some other invasive species as well. So fish. That's the kind of fish I like to catch. When there's no bag limit and they're invasive, that's what my favorite kind is. I think here I can get sunfish, right, of any amount. I can get any amount of sunfish at any size, but it depends on where you are here too. Different lakes have different bag limits on fish. Yep. Okay, let me focus on this for a second. So I can get further along. I should be smart and just stop right now and finish it off camera. Yeah, this is some of Sal's stone that he sent me a while ago. I think this is a 6-ounce bopper from Mike Tufts. Excellent quality. And yeah, I'm going to keep talking about Mike Tufts boppers and stuff because he's one of the sponsors of the channel. Yeah, I have to give my shout out to the sponsors. Let's see. Helen Cole, Patrick's favorite. What is my favorite? Yeah, squirrels are yummy. I like them. It's the other red meat. Michigan has no limit on red and pine squirrels. Such a little pest. Yes. Hey, what's up, Patrick? Hope you're having a good day, says Anthony. I'm doing good. I'm having a good day, actually. I did a lot of errands this morning, and I'm feeling good. I threw out a bunch of trash. Whenever I can throw out a bunch of trash, I get in a good mood. Yes, I do. No limit invasive hunting fishing. Yeah, so when I used to go to Indiana for work, my favorite thing to do in my spare time was go and shoot carp with a bow and arrow. As many as I want. And yes, I ate them. And yes, carp is actually good. You just gotta, I noticed there's, when you take a fillet off of a carp, there's a red zone where there's red tough meat. You just cut that out and the whiter or the lighter colored flesh is excellent. It's just the part that's red it's a little bit tougher and it tastes weird. I don't know why. People think carp is a trash fish, but it seasons well. It cooks easily. I took the scales off I burn the outside of the fish and then the scales come off easily. I don't take the scales off when the fish is totally raw. I burn the scales off mostly on a fire. The scales will peel up and they'll get all, what do you call it? They'll scrunched up and you just wipe them off. Anyways, I'm thinking about hitting up a few of my local landscape businesses this weekend, says Clint. Any tips on what to look for? Bring a hammer or bring something like this because I can't give you any hints on what to look for. You've got to chip them while you're there. Otherwise, whatever I tell you is probably going to be wrong. You just look out for stuff that naps like this or similar to this. If it doesn't nap, don't pick it up. Be very picky. I learned that lesson too. Now, can some of it be heat treated? Because immediately someone says, don't tell them that because you can heat treat all this stuff. All of it can be heat treated. Yeah, well, not all of it. But be picky and bring a little hammer with you. I can't tell you what to look for because I will be wrong. Let's see. Ellen says, when I visit Texas, you'll need to connect me with your feral hog hunters. Feral hog hunters. I haven't talked to them in a long time. I can put you in touch with deer hunters. Yeah. Yeah, Alan, just send me an email. I can put you in touch with deer hunters. But feral hogs, I lost contact with those guys years ago. Jesse says, carp doesn't have all the mercury as they are algae eaters. I recently cooked some carp and tilapia and loved it. Very surprised. The bass and stripers here in Arizona are loaded with mercury. I see. Yeah. Yeah, I like eating carp. It tastes much better than catfish, I think. And they have similar, they're very similar in some ways, right? That if the carp is big enough, you can make nice big nuggets, you know. What do you call them? I don't know. But you know, fry up, you know, you batter the catfish and fry it up, but you can do the same with carp or fillet the carp. It works well. And I like it much better than catfish. I don't like catfish anymore. Yeah. Anthony says, I started watching you about 8 or 9 years ago because of you. I've been able to get very proficient with my napping skills. Just wanted to say thank you. I'm still currently working on a package. All right. Thank you very much for mentioning that. I'm glad the videos helped. Yeah, it makes me feel better that I'm not wasting my time. Let's see. Anthony says, I want to send you a mixture of really good quality, easy to nap stuff and some other stuff that's not so good and very difficult. Okay, that's fine. Just be aware. I'll make that announcement as much as I can. I might not get to it right away. And I've had some people waiting over 5 years for me to nap their stuff. So just be aware. I can't always get to it. Let's see. Ralph says carp is good when it's in the smaller sizes and when the dark mud meat is removed. Yes. So you call it mud meat. Yeah, I noticed that on the bigger ones. Now, one thing I forgot to try last time that I was fishing for carp was the roe, the eggs. I got 2 carp last time that had a whole bunch of eggs, and I just threw them out, and I forgot. Carp roe is actually good as well, or carp eggs, and they're full of eggs during that certain season. Let's see. There are a bunch of places you can hook up in Texas, pretty much anywhere, and go hog hunting. They even have a hunt you can do out of a helicopter. Yeah, as long as you have cash, you can do the feral hog hunting. But I'm talking about guys that'll take you there to their ranch for no cost. All you need is a hunting license. Make sure it's current. That's it. And if you're an out-of-stater, you're going to make sure you got an out-of-stater license. Jesse says, well, yeah. I'm pretty sure that you're going to, well, some states allow you to hunt with an out-of-state license. I can't remember the rules. The channel cats here taste a bit muddy. Only thing with carp is a little more bones. Yeah. If you cook the carp, like I used to boil the carp sometimes and make soup, you boil the carp and at a certain time, you can just pull all the bones out in almost one move, right? Just take the bones will stay together and all you're left with is I forget what you call those bones. You'll still have some bones in there, but you can take most of them out at one time if you boil the carp. But you got to wait until it's just right, or else the bones will fall apart if you leave it in too long. Let's see. Mike Mason says, picking up those hides for you, Patrick. BBL or watch later. Be back later. Okay. Y'all be good. All right, Mike. We'll see you in a minute. Anthony, where I live, there's a lot of obsidian dashi and basalt. in the county that I live in had about 3,000. It had about 3,000 natives that were massacred around 1850. There's lots of artifacts everywhere. Oh, dang. Let's see. Ralph says sucker fishing will improve here once the floodwaters drop. Yeah. Lots of flooding going on. Jim Cooper says, guess, well, carpe diem. Carpe diem. Yeah. Hey, Jim, did you just arrive? Keith says, hey, Patrick, it's Tian again. Okay. I stole my dad's phone again. He is chasing me around the house, around the yard. Hello, Tian. RLJ says, I will put your name in the title of my video and will have many questions. I am not a flat napper, but I study stones. I see. Okay, good. That'll be easier for me to find for sure. I'm switching to okay, this is a 6-ounce bobber that I was using before. It must have been a 9-ounce. So I started with the 9-ounce and now it's a 6-ounce. Okay, yeah. All right. Just in case you're wondering. Yeah, because now that you know the ounces, you can get the exact same result, right? Yeah. No? Why do you want to know the ounces if you're not going to get the same result? Mm-hmm. You're so condescending, man. Yeah. How did you guess? Let's see. Jesse says, I'm with Patrick. Just nap some single barb fish arrowheads and we'll bowfish some of the big tilapia. Yeah, except carp fight a lot when you shoot them and they'll rip out the arrow unless you have an extremely big barb on the point. Yeah. Little barbs don't get carp. The carp will fight that arrow tooth and nail unless you hit it in the spine or the air bladder. It'll stun it if you hit it anywhere near the spine or in the spine. That's when you can reel them in. It doesn't require much of a barb. But if you hit them anywhere else, they will fight and that arrow will just come right out. They, of course, they'll die later, but they're fighters. How do I know? I don't know. Let's see. Anthony says, I guarantee that you're going to like some of the stuff that I'm going to send you. It's really buttery, like you like. Awesome. People say that it's the best obsidian in California. Well, cool. The word was supposed to be flint, RLJ. Oh, well, I missed the comment anyway. Or I forgot what it was, I mean. Anthony says, pressure cooking carp to where the bones become soft and they will make fish patties. Okay. Yeah, I never tried pressure cooking the carp. I always pull the bones out by hand when I'm boiling them. Jersey Jim Fish, lifelong fishmonger here in New Jersey. I've been watching your channel for years and listening to Flintknapping is deeply sedative for me. Last week I napped real stones for the first time. Awesome. Alan Cole says, talk smack and nap. Yeah, I will. Danny says, looking into a carpet like hooking into a mule. What does that mean? Ralph says, Ross Wellman should know about Omer, Michigan, the sucker fishing capital of Michigan, on the Rifle River. Yeah. Okay, looking into a carp like hooking into a mule. Hooking into a carp. Okay, I see it. I read that wrong. Yeah, when you hook into a carp, it's like hooking into a mule, for sure. Mike Tufts is here. Hello. I got one of your boppers here. Chef Adoptee. Good to see you. The best obsidian in California is kept secret in unknown locations. Oh, yes, I know that for sure. Ask for Corn is here. How late am I this time? You're only like 50 minutes late, 50 minutes late. Yeah, right on time. Ralph says, hello, Mike. Anthony says, is there a place that we can send you photos of arrowheads that we've worked on? Yeah, just send it to my email, jackcrafty2@gmail.com. jackcrafty, one word, the number 2 at gmail.com. jackcrafty2@gmail.com. That's my email. Sometimes I'll get the message on while we're doing a live stream. Like Jim Cooper sometimes will send me stuff and I'll take a look. But other people have sent me, as long as it's cooperative, I can look at the emails. Hold on, I gotta fix my lights. They just fell. Alrighty, hold on. Yeah, these things are so shaky. Let me see. Okay, I know what went wrong. I gotta adjust the tripod on the light. Hold on. There it goes. No. Let's see. Hold on. We got a little bit of technical difficulties here with the lighting arrangement. Okay, I'm still here. Okay. Just I got to get these lights set up. Okay. Where is it? Where are they? Okay, I got to get the cord out of that location. When it fell, everything got messed up. Okay. Are we done? Are we there yet? Yes? No? I have to put the lights in a weird spot to get good coverage. There's a little table in front of me. Let's see. Where am I? For some reason, I don't feel like I'm in the right spot. Okay. See, if I don't have the right lighting, everything looks like it's blurry when I move fast. Okay. I think we got it. All right, let's see what we got here. Mike says, I've been so busy to message you. Did you get the big bopper? I don't think I got a big bopper. I got to check. I got to check my memory. Let me think. I don't remember a big bopper, Mike. I don't remember. I might have gotten it, but I don't remember. Chef Adoptee says, dead air. Yeah, I hate the dead air stuff. The light fell down. It's still in a not too good of a secure location, but oh well. Let's see. Ross Willman said, just went by the Rifle River. Sucker Festival is in full swing. Awesome. Ralph says, carp are very powerful fish, very smart and difficult to catch too. Yes. That's why I like shooting them. Anthony says, man, that was a trip. It looked like you were in an earthquake. Yeah, when I grabbed my phone, I moved the table just slightly, and the light sitting on top of the table came crashing down. Ralph says, I've made fish patties from suckerfish. They are bony. That's not good. Anthony says, I've been able to see and hear you the whole time. Yeah, because I got my microphone right there. Let's see. When I review the video, I'll probably laugh at myself. Jesse says, lots of typos on my phone. Fat fingered. Sorry, meant made. Yeah, just retype your comment over again if you made a mistake. Because when you say, well, I should have said, fish instead of fart, I don't know which comment you're referring to. Mike says, you would remember this bopper. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't gotten it. I'll check the tracking when I get home. Okay. Danny Moore says, I've been waiting on a big box of Keokuk out of Mississippi for over a week in the mail. It's dragging. Dang. Chef, let's see. Chef Adoptee Adoptee, chef adoptee. I make canned tuna from dolphins. What? Very good light now. Okay, good. What kind of rock is that today? This is Amoeba Chert. Amoeba Chert from Texas. High grade. What I call HQR or high grade raw. It's from Sal. Blades and Points by SGP. He sent me some of this stuff. Now I got a very difficult area now. That's where the challenge comes in. How do I take care of that square edge? That's really, really square. It's hard to take care of those or to know what to do. So, I mean, you can nap right on the square edge. It is possible if all else fails. But it's better to zigzag it. Except, you know, you lose width when you zigzag. So it's not a perfect solution. I'm going to pick at it with indirect percussion. Yeah. I'm going to pick at it. Okay, hold on. And let's see. I think you're able to see. Yeah. Okay. So how do I get rid of the square edge? A little bit of luck, a little bit of indirect percussion, and a little bit of zigzag. 3 things: luck, zigzag, and indirect percussion. Okay, so that's the first one. I'm going to zigzag the whole thing. The next one, just keep going. No abrading, no nothing. Okay? Previous flake scar as the platform. The platform is the previous flake scar. See that? Look very closely. Where is it? See that? There's no abrading necessary. Just keep going. Other side. See that? See? See it? That one flew away. See it? See? Now, can you do this with everything? It's much easier to do this with high-grade material. Much easier. Now, here I am. I got that situation. I'm just going to pick at it now. See, I can hit that bump right there. See that? See it? Hit the bump. Now I can hit the lump from the side. Of course, it's hard to see what I'm doing with this view. All right, so now it's zigzagged. There's no more square edge. I lost hardly any width, right? So now I can abrade. Because with indirect percussion, abrading actually is almost a requirement. There are exceptions like the zigzagging I was just doing. Let's see. Dolphin equals mahi mahi. Yeah, I've had mahi mahi. It's pretty good stuff. Let's see. Jesse says, too bad YouTube doesn't let you add a pic in a comment. Yeah, I'm guessing they are worried trolls will be sending dick pics. Yes, that's exactly what they do. As soon as they allow photos or something, yeah, the trolls will start sending all kinds of stupid stuff. Alan Cole says, my dad's recipe for carp was to well season a cedar plank, lay the fish on top, bake at 350 for 30 minutes, throw away the carp, and eat the plank. Ha! Don't do it. It's a joke. Okay? Jesse says, we could post a pic of a point and discuss. Yeah. But that's what videos are for. Just do video on it. Let's see. Jim Cooper says, I never mentioned it before because I know how you feel about them, but when you have a square edge like that, overshots are a good way to thin that out if you have the right convexity. No. I mean, it's a way to do it, but you put the word good in there. It is a way, not a good way. You know, why? Why is it not a good way? Okay, let me tell you and make this extremely clear. Overshots are the ending of the flake. The overshot is the ending of the flake. Which part of the flake is the least controllable? Beginning? No. Middle? No. Ending? Yes. You're suggesting a good way to do it is to use the most uncontrollable part of the flake to attack the obstacle. That is not the best way to do it. When you do zigzagging, you're using the two better options as far as predictability goes to attack the obstacle. If you attack the obstacle with the ending of a flake in any circumstance, no matter where it is or what it is, attacking the obstacle with the ending of the flake is never the best technique. Never. And I can say never because I know for sure after 15 years of napping that the ending of the flake is the least predictable part of any flake. Okay? Is it clear? I didn't understand it because you took too long. I can only hear it for 5 seconds. Okay, well, those guys, they'll never learn. Let's see. Alan Cole says, it's like Patrick from SpongeBob making a clam talk like a sock puppet. Yeah. I did that on purpose so I can get your attention. Yeah. Let's see. TJ's. Hey, mate. Hi, mate. TJ from Australia. TJ's new life. He's joined the chat, enjoying the live stream. Jesse says, change angle and hit above center line, glancing blow, like you said. Yeah. I can do that too. Mm-hmm. I can do that on a square edge. I can do a glancing blow. But I didn't because I wanted to show you the zigzag. So yeah, Jim, I don't mean to disagree with you. I'm just letting you know what my opinion is on good, since you put the word good in your comment about overshots taking away square edges. It's not a good way to do it, in my view. Okay? All right. There we go. You want to see a sock puppet? I'm going to make some, maybe I'll make some rock puppets with the mouth like that. See that? That is how you take a flake with a little bitty platform. Little bitty. Big flake, little platform. Look at that striking area. So tiny. Yeah. Oh yeah, I went on Reddit yesterday. I saw Smallzilla's comments and stuff. They post actually more work than I thought. They're posting more than I thought they would post on Reddit these days. Yeah, when I was on Reddit in the Flintknapping area, they weren't posting that much. They seem to be posting quite a bit now. Not that I will ever get on Reddit and comment, because I just don't like this. I don't like the site. But it was interesting to peruse for a few minutes. Ask for Corn says, I know, right? Crazy day. So anti-dick pic. Sorry, y'all have missed out. It's out of my control, guys. Sorry, they just won't let me. What are you talking about? Jordan Kirkpatrick says, clear. Okay. Jeff Chin, hey, how's it going? Had a hard time connecting today for some reason. Ain't technology wonderful? It's wonderful and fantastic and beautiful and stupendous. Let's see. Stock market is soaring. Yeah, it's volatile, so it's not going to be that way forever. I mean, it might last a few hours or a couple days. Just my opinion. I have been watching the stock market, but I don't invest anymore. Mike says, "Ask for corn. Trying to post pics of the crotch popper." Brennan's here. Hello. Yeah. It's another level of point. Straight this way and curved the other way. Curved in that direction is curvy, but in this direction it's straight. All right. I'm going to keep saying this because on Wikipedia, you'll see that the Levallois points are taken from the base. They're not. They're taken from the side, like this. Okay? The side, like this. Of course, the Levallois is more of a rounded core and not elongated like this. But just so you know, in case you're just wondering or just tuning in, not just wondering, in case you're just tuning in and maybe you're wondering how they make these, they make them from the side like this when you're doing a Levallois point, or as I call it on this channel sometimes, the la 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 technique. Okay? La 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 technique. Because no one knows how to pronounce Levallois. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's French. It's because it's French from France. Yeah. Maybe that's why. I met a couple of people from France. And no matter how long they stay in America, they don't say France, they say France. Yeah, I'm from France. How long you been here? Almost all my life. I still say France. Yep. Now you're making fun of people from other countries? No, just those. Let's see. So this is what I'm getting so far. I'm hitting too hard and it's scooping it out, and that's a mistake. I'm trying not to hit too hard and it's not working. It's napping too good, in other words. Yeah. Now I got to try to even out what's going on. I got to repair the attempted repairs. I'm trying to knock off the thick spots. But now I got to try to repair the repairs. Story of my life. Yep. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Oh, dang. Yeah, that. A little bit of an overshot. I don't like them. I got to repair. Whenever I do an overshot, I got to sit there and repair the damage. It's distracting. See, the base is contracting very fast. It's not a good thing. I want to try to do this gently and gradually. Can you see or no? I see the chat's moving. What did I miss? The feed went too fast, Patrick, says Alan. complimented your guns. You must smash the rocks for a hobby. Oh, I see. The feed went by too fast. What did I miss? I don't know. Let's see. Overshot, take half the side off if already narrow. Dope. Yeah. Overshot flakes. Not a good thing. I speak good French. French fries, French toast. French fries and French toast? My grandmother-in-law has money in the socks, Starbucks and Microsoft. Oh, in the stocks. I said socks. Let's see. Ellen says, Ed, Vanguard just spammed my inbox. I'm holding you responsible. Rock puppets. Yeah, I'm going to make rock puppets. You've convinced me. Yeah. Jesse. Danny Moore says, how do you get a blonde to marry you? Tell her she's pregnant. It doesn't work. Ralph said, Brennan, the king of Laurel Chert. Ah, yes. I still gotta nap that Laurel Chert. Brennan says, not the king. Alan says, rock puppets with googly eyes. Yes, yes, yes. Ed Gould, I don't do the stock market. Yeah, it's a good idea not to do it. Let's see. His name is Chad Bolton in my book. What does that mean? What does Chad Bolton mean? I've heard what a Chad means, but is Chad Bolton some sort of meme? Yeah, sometimes I understand the memes and I like them, but other times I can't stand memes. Okay, that was good. There was a lump there, and now it's flatter. Yeah. Still a lump right there. There's still that lump right there. I was trying to get it earlier, and I scooped it right before the lump, and now I hit it this way, and it still didn't take it out. I could try hitting right on the lump. It's risky. No, I'm not going to do it. Sometimes they dive in when you hit a lump, and especially on this material that naps really, really well, it will dive. Yeah. So I'm just going to whittle it down. Yes, yes. Whittle it. There. What time is it? 3:13. 3:13 my time. I still got 45 minutes on the live stream. So yeah, if you know any good jokes or whatever, just short jokes. You can't fit too much in the chat, I noticed. Well, we all learned that YouTube doesn't like you to type too much in the chat. So we can do like short jokes. Okay. Let's try not to break this. I also have a feeling I have not been abrading enough. This is very forgiving material. It'll forgive you if you don't braid it enough, but I might be taking it for granted. Yeah, it's not good to take the stone for granted because it will bite you. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Now you see the lump. Where is it? Now you see the lump. Dang it. Now you don't. See, no lump. If I would just hold on to it, you could see it better. Yeah. I like it when the results are good, but it makes me suffer all the way through. Yeah. There was a lump in the middle, and now there's no lump. It's satisfying when the lumps go away. Yes. I just got to make sure I don't install a curve on this side. See, if I scoop it out too much, I can install a curve by accident. Let's thin out the tip before the tip remains too thick. Yeah. If you pay close attention, you'll notice that the angle changes with different strikes. Okay. So we kid about the angle being 52.6 or 56.2, but there's no right answer. The angles change. See that? See that? It's different from this angle. I can vary from this angle to something like that. Okay, so stop the video, get your protractors out. The angles vary from that to that. Okay, and very subtle changes in the angle make all the difference. Yeah, because someone could copy, get their protractor out, and do exactly what I'm doing and not get the same result. Because there's subtle differences that are almost imperceptible that make all the difference in the result. Okay? Subtle differences. And different nappers that get the same result have subtle differences in their technique. All right? They don't all suddenly nap exactly like each other, even though they're getting the same result. Like other nappers can get that tip flake off with pressure that big, or percussion, or a bopper like this. 3 completely different techniques. Same flake, exactly. And when I say exactly, I mean exactly. You can get the same exact flake with 3 very different techniques. And that's not even mentioning the different nappers and the way that they do it. Because let's say a napper can get a little bopper like this and take it off. The next guy with a little bopper like this might use a slightly different method, like something like this, and not like this. It's a different mindset to have a support system like this and a support system like that. Totally different mindset, okay? Just keep that in mind. I mention that because people forget that there's variability in napping. Okay? And they'll say stuff like, I know how it was made in the past just by looking at the flakes. I know that was made with certain tool, certain technique, blah, blah, blah. Chances are, no. Just blowing smoke. They don't know for sure. No. And I'll talk smack about them because I'm calling them out. I'll call them out that they're just blowing smoke. But yeah, it took me years to figure that out. But now that I got to figure it out, I'm not going to stay quiet about it. Wait a second. What did I miss? Okay. And Doghouse is in here. Danny, I missed your entrance. Yeah, 5 minutes ago. What's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean? I've never had a garbanzo bean on my face. Okay. As for corn, for a braiding, I'll take a stone that granite. What does that mean? Ralph says, Montreal, closest thing to being in France. Love face snapping Montreal smoked meats. Oh, yeah. The food is excellent. Let's see. I mean, I've never been to Montreal. Well, I've been to Montreal once when I was like 5 years old. I don't remember the food. I've heard it was good. Alan, I always take life with a grain of salt plus a slice of lemon and a shot of tequila. Mike Tuff says, do the women shave their armpits in Montreal? Yeah, good question. Yeah. Let's see. Danny says, I only drink if I'm by myself or with somebody.
I see people have my sense of humor. Ed Gould says, I don't drink anymore than I used to. Yeah, I know. Frodo Joe, I don't drink any less. We're even. Yeah. Let's see here. Ralph says, some do, Mike. Very beautiful women there in Montreal. Oh, I believe it. Looks like everyone beats me today. Tommy Taylor. Yeah, we've got like 40 minutes left. Ellen says, I can't believe I got fired from the calendar factory. All I did was take a day off. Ed Gould, they're really pretty after the fifth drink. Really? I don't know. Some never improve no matter how much I drink. Alan says, I was addicted to the hokey pokey, but thankfully I turned myself around. Yeah, that's funny. You guys are funny. Yes, yes. How's this coming along? Very nervously. I'm nervous because I could break it at any time. But I think if I just whittle it down little by little, I'll be all right. It's a knife already. If I was smart, I'd just leave it like this and just sharpen up the edges. But you know how it goes on this channel? I push it until I start messing it up, and then I say, okay, it's time to quit. Yeah. I'll push and push until I mess it up, and then it's time to quit. That's the way it goes. Every time I try to make points the easy way on my videos, they never get very many views. Yeah. Oh yeah, I need to narrate that Obsidian video. I still got it on. If I still have it on my phone, if I already deleted it, I can't narrate it. But I think I still have that video on my phone. I'll do a narrated version of that Obsidian video. You know, I'll do the voiceover because I have the ability to do voiceovers on an app on my phone. Let's see, what's this here? Ed says, I was once a male trapped in a woman's body, then I was born. You told that joke last time. Alan says, Jordan, I'm feeling pretty good about myself, or pretty proud. The puzzle I bought said 3 to 5 years, but I finished it in 18 months. Really? What puzzle would take 3 to 5 years? Did I miss something? Tommy says, eggs want to go comedy shows because they will get cracked up. Alan says, Danny, this is my step ladder. I never knew my real ladder. I'm messing up these jokes because I can't read fast. And I can't read with the right timing. Danny says, they put fences around cemeteries because people are dying to get in there. Alan says, I have all the money I'll ever need if I die by 3 p.m. this afternoon. Yeah. Yes, yes. I understand that one. That's not funny. That one's not funny. It's too close to home, dude. Okay, slowly, slowly. I'm going to wear this thing down. Yep. Can you see? No, no one can see anything. Oh, I don't like it when I don't take no flake. The incipients are always flying around and they'll land right in there when that happens. Here we go. Let's see if the incipients let me do it. Yeah, they let me do it. Miracle. Usually they don't let me do it, but they must have not have been paying attention. Yeah, they were flying around not paying attention. They were looking at the jokes, and they let me take that flake off right there. Now the serious side of that is incipient cracks will mess up the initiation of the flake or the beginning of the flake. And when the beginning of the flake is messed up, everything gets messed up. Oh yeah, let me know if any of you guys out there have an easy time predicting the endings of the flakes. You let me know, and I want to watch one of your videos and see if you can predict or see how you're predicting the endings of these flakes. Because maybe it's just me. Maybe other people find the ending of the flake highly predictable. I'm finding the ending of the flake to be the least predictable and the most pain in the butt flake part of any part of the flake. It's the ending. Okay, but if some of you guys out there, you think you're scratching your head, I don't know what you're talking about. I never have any trouble with any of the endings of my flakes. In fact, I can draw a pencil line right where it's going to end and the shape and everything. And if it's overshot, I'll tell you exactly how much the edge is taken off. I'll pencil it. If you're like that, I want to see a video. Please show me how much better you are than I am. Yeah. I want to see. Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now's your chance to make a fool out of me. Yep. You gotta jump on the chance. Oh, this is getting crackly. Why? It's not supposed to. See, the step fractures are starting to rear their ugly heads, and it's starting to. Some of these flakes are getting sticky, and it's getting a little bit crackly, like right in there, right up in here. Of course, there's a piece of concrete right there, but I already blasted through that. But it's getting crackly up here where there's no concrete. That's worrisome. It's not supposed to. You're supposed to behave. Maybe it's because I don't have enough. I don't have enough of a solid connection to the platform. The incipient saw that one. I know they did. Yeah, they're paying attention now. I just hit that without any effect. Now I got to take back the edge. I'm trying to get rid of that crackly area right there. So hold on. Okay. Oh, it almost did it. It almost did it. It's still I was getting mixed results. Yeah. Sometimes it works really well, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. As these things get thinner, you can pretty much tell the quality of the stone. This is high grade raw, but it has some inconsistent areas in it. So they are now rearing their ugly head when I'm getting it thinner. And I don't know where these inconsistent areas are because it's hard to tell which what. Yeah, I can't tell where there's a bad or extra rough or different consistency area on this stuff. It's hard to tell. I still can't get rid of the crackliness and I've hit it from all different directions right here above this concrete patch. But I'm gonna continue to try. It's getting thin near the tip, which is good. And I got to thin down the base as well before I thin down the middle. Okay, I left the middle very lumpy. That's on purpose. I don't want it to snap in the middle while I'm working on the ends. And when you thin the ends, it has less chance of breaking in the middle when you have less weight on the ends. Oh, I missed a bunch of stuff. Let's see. We're talking about Russian dolls already? Let's see. Anthony says, I identify as an invisible. I am a transparent. Transparent. Tommy says, I fell off a 12-foot ladder yesterday. Luckily, I was on the first step. Tommy, I don't suffer from insanity. I enjoy every minute of it. Alan says, Anthony, I hate Russian dolls. They're so full of themselves. Let's see. End Doghouse, or Danny says, overshots always terminate on the other end every time. Yeah. Yes. But this is after the fact. You see them after the fact. It's like saying flakes are so flakery. Yeah. Let's see. Alan says, I just burned 2,000 calories. That's the last time I'll leave brownies in the oven while I nap. That's the easiest way to burn 2,000 calories that I know. Danny says, overshots are a great way to make really narrow blades. Yeah. But use the word great. I don't know. Is it really a great way to make narrow blades? Let me know, because if I wanted to make a narrow blade, the last thing on my mind is doing it with overshots. That's the last thing I would do. Why? Because it takes big chunks out. It doesn't gradually diminish the width. If you take a big chunk out of the other side, you're automatically limiting your options on that side. You can't hit that anymore if you wanted to keep it that wide. Anyway, if you guys are using overshots and have no problems at all, I want to see. Brandon says, you know what's crazy, Patrick? By my calculations, I'm precisely 52.6% better than you. And here's how. Insert bullcrap here. Ed Gould says, that 1,000 a month SS should keep me alive forever. Social Security, 1,000 a month, that's it. Yeah, the Russian dolls joke was pretty good. Keith Ricketts says, I do pretty good at predicting the end of my flakes. They all end in my point being snapped in half. Yeah, you guys are funny. Danny had a funny one about that too. Where am I? Ellen says, my first job working in an orange juice factory, but I got canned. I couldn't concentrate. Killer Cork says, I'm back. Looking good, Patrick. Thank you. Tommy Taylor says, Alan, my family doesn't hide crazy. We display it on the front porch. Alan got jokes, yeah. Ralph says, welcome back, Killer Cork. Oh, yes. I've been trying to get a patent on a pocket poozy, says Ed. What is that? Alan says, Killer Cork, my math teacher called me average. How mean. Danny Moore says, 3 gay guys were in a hot tub, I guess, when a lot of something's, okay. I don't want to read that, okay? Alan says, Jesse, my therapist says I have a preoccupation with vengeance. We'll see about that. That's a good one. Blades and points. Sal says, what do you call 2 banana peels? A pair of slippers. Yay. Let's see. Alan says, my first experience with culture shock Probably when I peed on an electric fence. Yeah, that would shock for sure. Yes, yeah. Let's see. Alan says, Brennan, worrying works. More than 90% of the things I worry about never happen. Hey, now that's clever. Mike says, I can predict the ending of the flake. It ends up on the ground. Yeah. Sometimes it ends up in your eye. Yeah. I wish I could predict that. If I could predict when it was going to end up in my eye, I'd be an excellent napper. Anthony says, I'm not conceited. I'm just absolutely in love with how awesome I am. Ed Gould says, I peed on an electric fence once. Never again. Yeah. Luckily, that has not happened to me. No, I stay away from all those electric fences. Yes, yes. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to try to thin this a little bit more. This is the beginning of the sweat stage, okay? We haven't even started sweating yet. I've already worked on this for an hour and a half. Dang it. But anyway, I've been yapping. But after this is the preliminary biface, in my view. The tip is thinned down, yes. I was doing some refinement on the tip, but that was not part of the sweat stage. Now comes the sweat stage because every hit could be fatal. Fatal, deadly, risky, dicey, anything you want to call it. That's this stage now. The way I nap, yeah. Some guys, again, they go, I don't know what you're talking about. The closer it gets to finishing, the better I feel and the easier it gets. Yeah, well, like I said, everyone's different. Yep, it just proves that everyone's different. If that's the case, if you feel more confident as you progress and you don't have a sweat stage, let me know. Let me know. I want to see. It would be better if I didn't have to sweat at the final moments. Yeah. It would help if it was more predictable, but it isn't. Yeah. The flakes get more finicky. Yeah. And everything becomes more dicey. As far as I can tell. Yeah. And you end up sometimes taking chunks out of the edge when you hit it because it's starting to get thin. Yep. It's a bummer. Well, and your back starts hurting. Yeah. All these excuses, man. Someone's going to say, now, can I make you a little crybaby sandwich? Yeah, make me a crybaby sandwich as I'm crybabying all this time. Well, I start when it's the sweat stage. I just did this passive flakes right there. Okay. Reason why it's sweat stage is because any of those could be a really bad step fracture. And then I would have to try to get it from the other side. And the other side's already got a thin edge. It'll take a bite out of the edge if I hit it really hard. Let's see. What did I miss? Let's see. Tommy Taylor says, Blades and Points, I watched a couple of your videos last night. You do some good work. Oh, yeah, Sal has come a long way. He does excellent work. I say that because I saw him when he was a couple years ago. I'm not sure how long you were napping before I saw you nap, Sal, but your progression has gone, the way I see it, went through the roof, got really good, really quick. It's kind of rare. Usually the guys are steadily increasing in skill, but Sal just went shoo. Let's see here. Anthony says, I can't tell you how many times I've had obsidian in my eyes. It's to the point where it doesn't really even bother me. It used to, except for when I have to go to the hospital. Dang, I have not had to go to the hospital. I'm going to cross my fingers on that one. Yeah, luckily. Bren says, what if 1 out of 50 times you asked for a chaser, you left the bar with a relentless pursuer like the Terminator? Yeah, what if 1 out of 50 times you asked for a chaser? Yeah, don't think about that because it might come true. Yeah. You know what they say? Alan says, pro tip, before you marry a person, you should make them use a computer with a slow internet connection to see who they really are. Yeah, or ask them to do something like install an antivirus software or something. Yeah. Don't do it. But yeah, that's a good test actually. Yeah, to see who they really are. That's a good way. Do it. I can tell that would weed a bunch of people out of the picture. Let's see. Tommy says, if you bump an electric fence with the back of your head, you will hit the ground and goat feed goes everywhere but where it's supposed to. Ask me how I know. Yeah. How do you know? I don't know. Maybe that happened. It sounds like it happened. Sal says, why did a deer go to the dentist? It had buck teeth. Bren says, I've been creeping on Sal for a while and you have come so far so fast. Yeah. Bingo. Let's see. It says, I got my oil check today, 59 cents. What? Anthony, yay, I spoke too soon. I just had to pull another piece out of my eye. Oh, dang. Ed Gould says, was that you, Sal, in an older video with dog barking and you jumped up and yelled, I'm going to kill you? Was that you, Sal? Ralph says, that's an awesome blade, Patrick. Thank you. It didn't happen not once, but twice, says Tommy Taylor. Wow. So again, I can stop and be smart and stop here at this point. People often ask me, well, they used to, after I'm done a video, they would ask me, why didn't you stop at this stage where it looked pretty good? You messed it up. And I have to tell them every time. I got to remind them that I push it to the limit on the videos because people want to see the potential, even if it's not good. They want to know how far they can take it. Yeah. That is useful information. How far can you take it before it breaks? They want to know the limit. And it's very useful information to know the limits on the stone. So I say, yeah, I'll do that. And when you're trying to get big flakes off, you got to hit really, really hard. And it's really, really thin compared to how it was before. And you're still hitting it just as hard as you were when you were at the beginning stage. Yeah. And sometimes you got to hit even harder because this is lighter now. And you're using the mass of this against itself. When you use the mass of this against itself, like with freehand techniques, I'm not bracing it against anything. So it's a freehand technique. You're using the mass of the material against itself. You've got to strike faster, okay, to get the same resistance as a heavier object. Does that make sense? No? It doesn't have to make sense. You'll figure it out. Yeah. You don't need to know the physics. How do I know? Okay. So yeah, I'm hitting it very hard so I can get these lumps out. But this is a sweat stage. Okay. And it's good to have extra width here. I left it on there on purpose because I'm going to be shooting. I'm going to be shooting flakes over there. I'll be shooting flakes across using this edge. Yeah. And I need that extra width because it's going to bite into the edge. Wherever I can use, see, I wasn't able to use this extra width on this side because that's where the big old square edge was, remember? I think this is on that side. But if I have extra width, I will keep it and then use it to run flakes. Yeah, as long as it's not too much wider, because there's diminishing results. If it's really wide, then the flakes will have trouble traveling past center. Yeah, because that's how it goes no matter what. It's hard to get the flakes to go past center without making it even more difficult on yourself. Yeah, by leaving it too wide. Okay. I am going to have to take back this edge some later, but I've already removed the biggest flakes that I needed to. Right? Maybe there's one more. Let's see. I got to make sure I remove all the bigger flakes first before I thin it down from the other side. Because I don't want to have to be hitting really hard when it's getting really thin. If I can prepare now, it's better, especially on the edge that I can't take back. I can't take anything back on that edge in the future, anything substantial, I mean, because it'll mess up how straight it is. So I got to make sure that edge is pretty taken care of first, so to speak. I got to make sure I take care of it. Get all the lumps out of it. Yeah. I just took a bite out right where I shouldn't have a bite. Right there. See, that's going to mess up the whole edge. I'm going to have to take the whole edge back just because of that one little bite. Dang it. It might have already been an incipient that just reared its ugly head. Yeah. Okay. I see how it's going to go. Yep. Take it back now. Yeah, I'll take back the edge now. I've got about 12 minutes on the live stream. Let me see what I can do here. Try to finish out most of it. What was the length before? 7.5 or something like that. It's now 7 3/8. I only lost 1/8 of an inch off the length. Yeah. It was 7.5 before. And if I leave it thick, it won't break. But I don't know. I might just leave it thick. I don't know yet. We'll see. Well, let me try to get this trimmed down a little bit more. Yeah, that one flake mishap caused me to have to take back the edge a little bit more. Hold on. Dang it, they're not traveling. There we go. It's finicky in certain spots. Okay. Yep. I got the heat turned off and it's still hot in here. Yeah. Or is it just me? Let me know if it's hot in here or if it's just me. No, don't do that. I'm trying to be delicate, okay? Don't be all weird. The stone is acting all weird now. Yeah. Let's see, how long do I have? I got 9 minutes? What did I miss? Let's see. Oh, dang. Yeah, let's see. Sal says, Ed, I really don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think so. My dog would kill me. Okay. Anthony, it is boomerang obsidian, or you just a masochist. Is it boomerang obsidian? Ralph says, yes, Sal's dog is beautiful, but looks like a great guard dog. He likes apples too. Really? I didn't know that. And Doghouser. Danny says, where's your how do I know sign? It's over there. I didn't want to put it back here because it's kind of big. I didn't know where to put it. I gotta drink water. See, I used to have just the sign itself, but I put up a light in a box behind it now, so it'll light up. Yeah, Ed Gould knows where it is. It's in front of the window. Let's see. Jesse says, yeah, saw the slow motion Apple video. Too funny. Alan says, Anthony, just joking, but on a serious note, I lost my right eye 10 years ago because I wasn't wearing safety glasses when I should have. Binocular vision is not overrated. Dang, I didn't know that. You only have one eye? That must really be bad. I couldn't deal with it. Sal says, thanks, Jesse. That dog is nuts. Killer Cork. What's up with that huge shit talker in your last auction? Had to have been a troll. No, he has he's got an issue with he just has an issue. Yeah. I can't really talk bad about him, okay? But yeah, I don't know why he came on to the auction to do that. He could have just chewed me out on an email. Well, yeah, we had a trade going on. See, we're doing a trade like I do with a lot of guys. I'm not sure what he got upset about, but I think he was thinking I was taking advantage of the opportunity to nap some of his rocks, and I sold some of the material that I napped from his stuff, and hadn't given him anything in trade yet. I had set aside the materials for the trade because I usually do stuff off camera as my second priority. My first priority is the auctions. And I'm not sure exactly what the conflict was, but yeah. No, it's no big deal. We're going to work it out. Let's see. Alan says, before anyone feels sorry for me, don't. It's my own fault, and I make jokes about it on the daily. I have to. It keeps me positive. Awesome. Good. Ed says, see you guys Friday night live. Yep, that's the next live stream is Friday night. See you later, Ed. Let's see. Yeah. Sal says, I was recently abducted by aliens. They nearly probed me to death, but they thought me but they taught me how to nap better. You messed that one up. I don't know what that means. Red-eyed Patriot, I bought you a pocket knife, Patrick. You're going to love it. Awesome. You bought me a pocket knife? It's not even my birthday. Ralph says, I had a blind professor in college whose glass eyes went into the kitchen garbage disposal. His daughter didn't know they were clean, soaking up a coffee cup. Oops. What is that? I didn't read that right. Tommy says, Killer Cork, I seen that wrong place for that kind of stuff. Should have been private conversation to me. Yeah. Should have been private for sure. Yep. Anthony says, they're more like Tomahawk missiles than heat sink straight for my eye, no matter if I'm wearing glasses or a face shield or anything. Yeah, the flakes are funny that way. You're a good guy, Patrick. No, thanks. Sometimes I don't feel that way. Jesse, why does it happen? If I knew why that happens, then I wouldn't do it. One of Patrick's greatest quotes. Yeah. Why? Yeah, people ask me, why does that happen? Or you shouldn't have done that. Well, if I knew why it did it, I wouldn't have done it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why did it do that? You shouldn't have done it that way. Yeah. I shouldn't have. My glasses are all dusty. Okay. Let's see. Sal says, the trouble with getting to work on time is that it makes the day so long. I'm trying to understand that one. Is that supposed to be a joke? Is that supposed to be a joke? Alan, I've had issues with MD in my left eye, says Ralph. Thank God I can still shoot, go hunting and things. Yeah. Sal says, sorry for the dumb jokes. Okay. Was it a dumb joke? I don't even know. Mac Bales, enjoyed lurking today. See you Friday. Oh, you've been lurking this whole time? Dang. All right, let me hit this a couple times really hard and see how it goes before the end of the live stream. That way I can show my progress. Oh, that one did a sneaky thing right there. Dang it. That's what I'm talking about. Wait till you see it. Voila. See, I took it off the side that has more material so I can hit it really, really hard because I probably crushed the crap out of that. Yeah, I did. But it gave me that flake that I wanted. Yeah. If I had tried to take that flake while it was thin, or not thin, but narrow like that side, that little crushed spot would have made me take back the whole edge on this side. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like having width, because I'm going to have to take back that edge because of that crushed spot. When I take a long flake like that, when it's starting to get thin, it messes up the initiation. Yeah. Long explanation for something simple. There it goes. I had to sneak past that concrete. See that? Luckily, it did sneak. It didn't go into the concrete and went down that way, which took off a step fracture that was there. Beauteous. It didn't take it all the way off, but it got behind it. See, there's a step fracture right there. It got behind it, so now I can probably take another flake in this direction and get rid of it. But I've got to do the other side first. Yeah. Hold on. Got to do these things in sequence. In the proper sequence if you want to get the best results. Okay. Oh, I almost did it. I almost got that step fracture right there, but it didn't do it. I don't know what to do now. But it's okay. I still have more width. I still have some width to work with. So when I take this edge down, I'll be able to attack that step area. It's 4 o'clock, but I'm going to go for a little bit more. Okay. Just a few more minutes. Yeah, I really want to get past this stage. Yeah. So hold on. I'll stay on the line for a little bit longer. Let's see. Keith, I just hit the like. Almost forgot. Put house back on the porch. Mike Tuff says, I predicted that flake. Yeah. Took Pat all but 30 seconds to get rid of the Great Wall of China on the side of that biface. Thanks. We now feel inferior. Let's see. Well, it's about that time, says Jordan. Yeah, it is about that time. I'm going to go a few more minutes so I can get this thinned down a little bit more. Okay. What else is going on here? Keith, I just hit the like. Okay, I read that. Alan says, Ralph, the new procedure is an implant. I believe it's like a coral marble. Eye muscles are surrounding it, and a prosthetic shell that looks like a glass eye but is put over it. It's like a big contact. Very interesting. I never heard of anything like that. Alan says, and the implant moves the prosthetic. Mike says, Patrick beats through the tariffs on that China wall. Yeah. Tommy says, Blades, we like dumb jokes. Yes, we do. Alan says, I'll flip it backwards and stick suction cups to it and play jokes on people. Okay. Let's see. All right. So let me just take a few more flakes and I'll finish it probably tomorrow on video. See, right now I'm still used to the material. It's probably not doing him any good. I'm used to the material, so I want to do it now that I'm in the zone. Yes, but I got an obstacle. But see, from below, I was going for this right there, right? So, voila, it took it out, but it ended in a step fracture. I can get that from the other side. I just didn't want to have to get it from the other side because it takes away the width on that side. It's supposed to fan out and feather out, not step like that. There it is. Yes, no, maybe sometimes. There it is. And I didn't crush that edge very much, did I? It's a little bit of a dent. That was good. All right, so yeah, I think that's it. If I do any more on this, I'm going to mess it up. Yeah, quit while I'm ahead. So that's how it turned out so far. There's lumps everywhere, but I'm not going to take those out right now. I'll do it the rest of it on video. Yeah. So this side looks pretty good. It's still lumpy, and I still have to do a couple more flakes around this concrete to clean up that mess right there. But other than that, I think the other lumps are going to be relatively easy. Even this lump here. I think that lump there will be relatively easy. I still got width on this side. I tried to run a flake just now through there to see if I can run over the top of that, but it stepped. So I'm going to have to beef up this edge quite a bit. All right, so what do we got left? I'm going to read the comments and then I'll sign off. Let's see. Alan says, Ralph, I'm a better shot now and faster. I'm always squinting as far as my brain registers. Brennan says, thanks for the time, Patrick. This community appreciates you. Was just telling someone else important to our club the same thing. Oh, thanks, Bren. Thank you very much. Keith says, Tommy, I keep the hounds under the porch. It's hot in Florida. They like shade, or they need shade. Oh, yes. Brennan, kind words and so true. Alan, sweet stage is voila. The sweat stage is voila. The force is strong with Patrick today. Mike says, I agree with you, Jesse. That's why I like coming here, and it certainly isn't for the jokes. Very nice of you to say. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm going to sign off here. I got a couple more comments. Ralph says, good for you, Alan. Willie O'Keefe was the first African Canadian hockey player, and he was blind in one eye during his whole career. Oh, dang. Anthony says, all right, I'm out. You guys have a good one. I'll see you later. I get another chunk in my eye. Unless I get another chunk. Yeah, maintaining a positive attitude is the key to everything, says Alan. Oh, yes. All righty. Thank you for participating in the live stream. The next one is Friday night, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, and we're not going to do any napping. It's just chat. A couple hours of chat Friday night, and question and answer, that kind of stuff. I'll try to get some notes put together. Yeah, I'll have some notes. All righty. I'm going to sign off here. See you later, Alan. See you later, Mike. Tommy, Killer Cork, Ralph, Michael, Red-Eyed Patriot, everybody. All righty? Okay, we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.